Today, Culture Action Europe and the city of Malmö have an enormous pleasure to launch officially our Beyond the Obvious 2024 program. Beyond the Obvious 2024 is entitled United by Future Places and will take place in Malmö, Sweden from 29th of May to 1st of June, where you are all, of course, very much invited to join us and to be there with us in this amazing city. And we're particularly excited to host the BTO 2024 in Malmö, in a city where the topics of sustainability, diversity, inclusion, placemaking, and culture are really part of the city's policies, as well as the public debate. So there would have been probably no better place than Malmö to host our BTO 2024, which will also be looking and talking about the role of culture and cultural agents in creating new narratives and new images for our shared sustainable futures. United by Future Places is co-hosted and co-curated by Culture Action Europe, the city of Malmö and Malmö University, and is co-funded by the European Union, Region Skåne, the European Cultural Foundation, and the Ministry of Culture of France. We, of course, thank all our sponsors for their support. Unfortunately, our co-hosts from Malmö could not be with us today, but they are sending us their greetings.
My name is Janne Grönholm, and I am the Deputy Mayor for Culture and Leisure here in Malmö.
And I am Annika Cedhagen, Head of the Culture Department.
And we are so happy to welcome you all to Malmö in May for the Beyond the Obvious conference that we host together with Culture Action Europe.
And we're so glad and excited that you have chosen Malmö for this important conference, where we can discuss the issue of culture in sustainable development of societies today. And we look forward to creative discussions and learning from each other.
See you all in May.
Welcome.
So the registrations for the BTO 2024 are now open, and you can register until 10th of May, either by using this QR code that will take you directly to the registration page, or visiting the Beyond the Obvious website, which is www.cae-bto.org. So with this, I will start diving into the program more in details. So the program of the BTO starts on the 29th of May on Wednesday. In the afternoon from 1 to 6, we will be hosting Culture Action Europe Members Forum. And this is a space only open for Culture Action Europe members. And this is not part of the official public conference. The official part and public part of the BTO 2024 will start in the evening of the 29th of May with a reception and mingle in an amazing historical town hall of the city of Malmö at 6:30 until 9, where we will be greeted and hosted by the mayor of Malmö, Carina Nilsson, and the president of Culture Action Europe, Ines Camara. Our partners and historians also from the Malmö University will also take us through the history of Malmö and show us how culture emerges in very unexpected places in this city. The next day of the conference, which is actually the first full day of the conference, is on the 30th of May, on Thursday. And before going into details of this day, I just wanted to share with you how we have been imagining also and building up the conference, which is a combination of more sit-down, more formal conference formats combined with rather on-the-go dimension of the experience. And that way we try to create diverse experiences also for for the participants of the conference, and give the possibility possibility also to explore the city and its initiatives and meet and exchange with the cultural operators of the city directly as well. On the 30th of May, on Thursday, we will be hosted by the Malmö University, and we will be greeted by the Master of Ceremony of the whole conference, art-ivists, a renowned Swedish architecture and urban planning critic, as well as journalist and TV host, which will serve as a Master of Ceremony of the whole conference. And then we will have two panel discussions in the morning that will be looking on one side, it will be looking on how to bring culture in the city policies and see that what are the experiences, the Swedish experiences, one from the local level from Malmö and also regional level from region Skåne, and also having the European dimension to it from Culture Action Europe. And the next panel of the morning, which is a very important one, especially as we will be just 1 week away of the European elections, when we will see each other in Malmö, will be focusing on the politics of culture, and we'll have conversation with the representatives of the members of European Parliament, as well as representatives of foundations, but our also colleagues from Ukraine and young cultural workers will also be part of this panel. Those two panels will be followed by rather more open conversation places, where we will have various groups that will meet and talk about different topics, from places and memories to places of change or caring places, etc., that will be also assisted and facilitated by Culture Action Europe members. And in the afternoon of the day one, you are all invited to join the cultural tours across Malmö that this Malmö city has been curating for you. It is very important, however, to select already the tours that you want to attend while you are registering, and also be aware that the places for those tours are limited. On the next day, on the 31st of May, which is a Friday, and the second official day of the conference, will be hosted by Slakthuset, which is a former slaughterhouse in the city center of Malmö, which is now has been operating as a cultural center that has its own theater, the venues and the meeting spaces, restaurant, etc., and will be hosted by them. In the morning, we will have again two panels, and that way this time the panels will be bringing together rather the practices from all across Europe, and we'll have practitioners talking during the first panel that is entitled Reclaiming the City, and we'll be focusing on the role of public spaces and inclusion, diversity, and culture. And we'll have practitioners from Sweden, but also all across Europe joining us in this conversation. And this panel will be followed by another conversation called Cultivating the Future, that will be focusing on sustainability, climate, and food and agriculture, and that will be again bringing different experiences and practices both from Sweden and all across Europe. In the afternoon, after lunch, we will host two parallel sessions where we will be presenting project pitches and future labs, and this will be 20 selected projects and project ideas that will apply for an open call, which is open now for Culture Action Europe members of Culture Action Europe members, and the Pop the Vote change makers. Following this part of the day, we will be on the go again, and we will have, you will have the possibility, we all will have the possibility to visit different initiatives in the city, in workshop visits where you can, again, you will be required to register for that up front. And here too, the places are limited, so please choose wisely. Also the ones that you want to attend. And that will also be followed by conversations, by the smaller group conversations in the venues that we will be visiting. So there's a very long list of workshop visits that, again, we have been very carefully selecting together with our partners in the city of Malmö. And we will end the official program and the conference on Friday evening with a closing mingle that will also will include the final keynote from our Master of Ceremony, Mark Isit, announcement of the next host of the Beyond the Obvious 2025, and a new circus surprise show. So we are very hopeful that you can stay with us until the very end. But it's not really the end for Culture Action Europe members, because on the next day, on Saturday, 1st of June, we will continue with Culture Action Europe Members Forum, Day 2, which is, again, only open for Culture Action Europe members. One very important dimension that I also wanted to mention here is that this year, Beyond the Obvious will also host the Changemakers Takeover. So Changemakers are our young cultural actors and artists that are part of our Pop the Vote campaign and project that many of you may be aware of. So they will be all around, they will be part of the program, they will be part of the audience, you will be asked and prompted to meet and greet them and make connections with them. So be aware that there will be this dynamic and energy that we hope that Changemakers will bring to this conference as well. So for more information, again, you can scan this QR code or visit www.cae-bto.org for more information.